As you know, we recently attempted to rent a brand new Wagoneer, Grand Wagoneer, for a road trip. And we reserved one. And we get to the rental place, and it was broken and unable to be used. We ended up with a Lincoln Navigator. I really wanted to grab a Grand Wagoneer and vlog the whole trip and talk about its pros and cons and everything's going good with it, how it felt to drive it on the road, how it handled the road trip. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. And I noticed that it seems to be having some issues, the Grand Wagoneers. I have a friend who works at a dealership, and he did let me know that they come in a lot. The service department stays full of them. I knew this going in when I rented it, and I figured, hey, only 2% of the Grand Wagoneers is probably kind of lemony fresh. So chances of getting one that's gonna work for the whole trip are probably pretty high. Usually you hear about the bad ones. All the good ones just go by the wayside, and I didn't have any numbers to back up any theories here. But I'm seeing and hearing more and more, and now it finally did affect me, the downing of a Grand Wagoneer. So let's take a trip. Let's go ahead and look. Wagoneer Fans is a popular thread for people who have the new Wagoneer. Let's see what they got to say. Ooh, look. Well, now, okay. I should be honest. We've done some web searching to find the problems people are having with the Grand Wagoneer, and I ran across this thread. So this one person starts off the thread. Hey, fellow Wagoneer enthusiasts, I want to share my recent experience with my Grand Wagoneer. It's not a pleasant one. I hope this story serves as a cautionary tale for those considering this vehicle. That does not sound good. 15,000 miles, my Grand Wagoneer's engine gave up on me, leaving me stranded and frustrated. To Jeep's credit, they acknowledged the issue and agreed to buy back the car, offering a glimmer of hope in a difficult situation. However, this was where my nightmare began. It has now been 30 days since Jeep agreed to the buyback, and the deal remains unclosed. Why, you ask? Apparently, there's a backlog of Grand Wagoneers in the buyback process, which is causing significant delays in processing the necessary paperwork and issuing the checks. Big fat red flag. Now, see, this is leading me to believe that problematic Wagoneers are, the percentage is a lot higher than 1 to 2, 3%. Let's keep going. This situation has left me in limbo without a car and without the compensation I was promised. Let's see, here's your other mistake. You run out and buy a brand new vehicle, first year out. Now, this is not your average Jeep. This is a Fiat you're buying. This is all built under Fiat Chrysler automobiles. When this thing was put together, it says no Mercedes in it, other than a few leftover parts from the old, just the 392 motor, which is not Mercedes, but the transmission's ZF, which seems not to be an issue. I don't hear any transmission issues, but all the body is brand new Fiat, brand new whatever. They said it was a Chinese market Jeep that they based this off of and brought it over here and fixed it up, but it has so much tech in it, unproven tech. You probably ought to stay away from a brand new anything first year out, because it's going to have some teething issues. But anyway, this user says, I urge anyone considering a Grand Wagoneer to think twice and do the research. While the vehicle itself may have its merits, my experience with the Jeep customer service and their ability to resolve issues has been far from satisfactory. If you're currently dealing with a similar situation or have any advice to offer, please share it in the comments below. Now, see, we're going to get some comments. Marty asks, what's your engine size? It was a 6.4 liter V8. Now, I'm assuming the problems will be from that hurricane because, I mean, they pretty much perfected the 6.4 V8. Why this one died is beyond me. Shit, why is he not a rental yet? Yeah, I get you. There. My Grand Wagoneer S3 is in the shop again for the 4th time with vibration issues. I've had tires replaced, balancing done, and the last fix was to replace the drive shaft. I've contacted WCS to start the buyback process. Can you tell me what they offered you and what steps they would take to get the claim approved? I keep reading horror stories about timeline, etc., but no one has said what was offered and how long they've been waiting for the start of the claim to end. Oh boy, that's not good. 3 sets of tires, and Stellantis came back and says that it's driving as expected. So the dealership just punted on that one. Why would the crop of 6.4s in the Grand Wagoneer be susceptible to failure? It's a bulletproof engine and other applications. That's what I said. As an owner of a 392, an old one died, got a new one in there. It's just fine. I've had a 6.4 and a Grand Wagoneer Grenade at 15,000 miles in my 22. Really hated it because the first 12,000 miles, it got terrible MPG, miles per gallon. We took it on a 3,000 mile trip and it jumped to 21, 22, 23 in the mountains. By the time we got home, we done 4 full tanks that averaged over 23.5 miles per gallon. That's pretty damn good for a 392. On the way to work the first day home, driving down the highway, it blew up. Gave up for no reason. What the entire hell is that? They got the whole body off in this picture. Jeez. I think that's how you have to work on these things. I know it is with the Ford trucks. You gotta lift the body off to get the stuff. Nice pics, man, but jeez. Yeah, you have to lift the whole body off to get to the engine. That's exactly, oh God. This got to be a technician's nightmare. Sorry to hear. I gave up on the buyback process and traded mine in. Oh boy, that's a shame people have to do this. Well, just because you gave up on the buyback doesn't erase your rights. That's right. That's very right. There are manufacturer buybacks, in this case, Stellantis, Lemon Law Buybacks, and Better Business Bureau. Autoline arbitration settlements. In some states, you're required to go through the BBB autoline arbitration before the Lemon Law Buyback. Why are we talking about Lemon Law Buybacks on a $100,000 fully loaded truck that's supposed to compete with the Lincoln Navigator, with the Escalade, even with the Range Rover? But Jeep cannot get it together. Stellantis Fiat is probably the worst thing that could have happened to this poor company. I'm so frustrated with this junk Wagoneer. Oh boy. Series 2, we are paying a hefty payment every month for a car that's in the shop every few months. Jesus. And we paid about $30,000 so far. It's now in the shop for the battery dying. Here come the electrical gremlins. That's what I've been hearing about the most, is the electrical gremlins. They cannot figure out what's draining the battery. We've had problems with this vehicle from the day after we bought it. All different problems, and all this time, the worst one they could fix. Oh, I'm sorry. All different problems, and this time is the worst one, as they could fix it before. Wagoneer Services is worthless. They say we do not qualify for a buyback. Maybe that will change if they can't fix it this time. We have 45,000 miles on this car. I would love to hear from someone that's qualified for the buyback program. I'm guessing they're losing so much money, it's not going to be easy to qualify. Trading is not an option because they are losing their value. They are not holding their value. That is unlike Jeep. But when you're dealing with a Fiat Jeep, the battery draining in my 22 Wagoneer S2 was only the first of my problems. I'm assuming that you're also having trouble with the rear hatch. I found in forums and in my own experience that the rear hatch is draining the batteries. I think it has something to do with the control module, but I can remember. The second time I took it in for a fully dead battery, I mentioned something about a rear hatch service notification. They did a bit of research and were able to get it corrected. I still have rear hatch problems. So something else is causing it. Something that's connected to Uconnect 5. In order to qualify for a buyback, you would need a recurring safety problem. In my case, the Uconnect keeps switching profiles while driving. Since my wife and I are very different size, different in height, switching seat positions while driving is very dangerous. You tell me about that one. I've also had overheating, dead batteries, rear hatch, extreme lurching with the stop-start, even if it caused an accident. This is not good. This is not good, people. It's hard to get the Y back. So you got to be careful under warranty, 336. These things seem to be happening at the 45 mark. Man. Lawyer up and get advice. Lemon Law attorneys are paid by the manufacturer and not the consumer. There is no fee to split. Initial consultations are free. That's good to know. Used car buyers are screwed, but that goes with the used car at a lesser price. I have a 2022 Wagoneer Series 3 plagued with electrical issues. They actually replaced the entire dashboard in May. Well, all issues are back. Wearing on the right front tire, but nobody can seem to find a suspension or balance issue. I've had to replace the tire 3 times now. Jeez. All these sensors are alarming in my car when I'm just driving down the road. That's probably a bad computer. Previously, I was driving 50 miles an hour and my auto collision stopped my car as if I was about to hit somebody, but nobody was in front of me. How do I get Jeep to take this car back and not give me negative equity? I think you're screwed, my friend. Whew, man. More advice on how to get your car bought back. Gee, look at this one. Been in the shop for 41 days for battery draw, heated seat, passenger screen, and third row seat issues, paint issues now. I have contacted Jeep Retention and started a case. Unfortunately, I cannot go down the Lemon Law Road in Minnesota as this is registered in my business. My question is, as Jeep stated, will they compensate me? Any idea what I should expect to request? Oh, goodness. There's some compensation stuff here and some ideas. They have hundreds, if not thousands, of these problem trucks. Did you buy yours new or used? You just wait for if the first owner traded in and filed for the difference between the price. Now, see, this is good advice here. Something like this Wagoneer, if you really want one and you really think it's just the tits, you gotta have one, you don't care. Wait a couple years. Let somebody put about 50,000 miles on one of these things. Once they've done that, they don't have a lemon. The value has dropped significantly. You can get in it. This is what I do. I don't buy new cars. New cars are for people who don't like their money. Okay, you don't mind losing all that value, all that initial value. You want to go ahead and be the test dummy to see if the car is any good or not. And you'll be dealing with trips back and forth to the dealership. Even if it is covered under warranty, it's still a damn headache. But I say, just let somebody else drive all the problems out of it. You might get a good one. It's got about 50,000 miles on it. Everything should be fixed by the time it goes on the certified used market. And you're golden. Oh man, more people talking about buybacks. Check this one out. Going on 3 months, my Wagoneer 2 has been at the dealer for a battery drain. They call and say it's ready, and a day later it's dead again. Last time they said it was ready, I went to pick it up and it was talking to the service manager about a paint issue. I went to drive out and the service bay and the battery was dead again. Service department is frustrated and done everything they can. Have been working with Jeep engineers as well. Again, spoke with Nicole from Stellantis and got nowhere. She said she would contact the dealer and have engineers get involved. O told her for the 5th time, engineers are involved with nothing being resolved. She said she would call me back, and that was 10 days ago. No reply to me leaving her messages. Thus far, Stellantis has only briefly talked about compensation and given me employee pricing on a new one. Who in their right mind would buy a new Jeep after this shit? Preach. Dealer said they would trade and run it through the action, as they don't want to be there on their lot. I stand to lose 20 racks after owning only 4 months. Stellantis retention is a joke. They're trained to string you along and hope you go away. Time for me to go back to GM. There's the crux right there. They're just gonna lose. They're gonna lose. Nobody's gonna buy these damn trucks anymore because they don't know how to take care of business and make the customer happy. Even if the truck is bad, you gotta step in and do something just to keep people coming back. When you start losing them to Cadillac and losing them to Lincoln, I mean, I had this Lincoln out here for a few days and it's been beautiful. And I mean, everything works like a dream in that truck. Now, I'm not gonna go out and buy a Lincoln because personally, I don't like the little 6-cylinder twin turbo motor. It's doable, but I like big juicy V8s. But I tell you, I love the look of the Grand Wagoneer. Would not mind having one. Would not mind it at all. But I tell you what, I won't buy a new one and I will not go through this mess. So, I mean, my advice is buy used. Let somebody else deal with the problems. Thanks for watching.